Okay, David, I've sent you through a copy of the Ben Hogan swing I'd like you to look at and have a look at his takeaway. Very, very similar, body lengths. We talked about this before. Um, in starting out, the motion you have going back to the takeaway, we can see here on the right screen, the club wants to duck around the corner too early. And when it does that ducking around the corner, it creates an issue with the symmetry of the shaft movement, so the club heads around here really. The biggest issue, if we look back at the left side here now, is the head of the club moves a whole bunch and rotates a whole bunch with your arms and hands. But the distance the club head's moved here in relation to how far the head's moved from a front view is far too much. So it tends to have the head of the club too far under, a quarter of the way back. So this position here is too far under. That club right now should be up above that line. And you get to 3/4 of the way back, and now it's back on a good plane and a good shaft angle, but you've cheated and you've bounced the club to that position. So what ends up happening to the top is it crosses, now it gets into your worst position, and the angles you create coming down through impact are bouncing around. So when you see the shaft changing a lot between here and here, and it's changing even further coming down. So that shaft angle is all over the place and changing in all different directions. So from there, you're building up a lot of incorrect lag, and that lag is more of a block than lag. It looks like lag, but it's blocked, and that block's going to flick on through and release. It has to get back to the ball. So that flicking on through gives you two options. It gives you left or high, and that's pretty much the two shots you've had trouble with over the last few years that I've known you. So if we can get that shaft symmetry to work better in conjunction with the movement of your swing in general, then we have a much better chance of the club not flipping through impact. So the takeaway is your biggest issue. The takeaway of that club head going inside here, we want to keep that club head on top of that line. Now the best way to do that is to have the handle moving away without the head moving back so much. So we want to have the handle movement going sideways here at the start of the backswing, and want to have the head of the club moving at less of a movement or less distance in comparison to the handle. The handle needs to move first. The cupping that you have in the back of your left wrist here needs to remain. The distance between the radial head of your wrist and the index finger knuckle needs to remain consistent and not back up on itself. You see here in the takeaway, yet again, we want to have a look at Hogan and see what he's at. His takeaway is exactly what you need. Good luck, buddy.